This is the N700 Shinkansen, one of Japan's most successful high-speed trains. With 179 train sets built, it's the most common Shinkansen train across Japan, connecting major cities from Tokyo and Osaka all the way to Hakata and Kagoshima. Known for its fast acceleration and stylish new interior, join me as we travel in first class on this icon of the Japanese railways at speeds of up to 300 km per hour. Our journey begins at Hiroshima Station, which at the time of recording was under heavy reconstruction. But they do have cool sounding trams. But of course, we are gonna be traveling on something much faster than a tram today, so let's head inside the station. Despite this being a temporary under construction access corridor, it was still very well signposted, and it was super easy to find the Shinkansen platforms. And after navigating the temporary accessways, we head up the stairs and into the main station building, which is much more pleasant. And as you'd expect, it has plenty of shops and facilities. Inside the station, you will of course find a large ticket office, as well as plenty of ticket machines. As is common for Shinkansen platforms, it's in a dedicated part of the station through a separate gate line. I always find inserting your tickets in these barriers so satisfying. Anyways, once you're through to the Shinkansen part of the station, there's still plenty of shops and outlets for you to grab any last minute snacks. Today we'll be catching the 12:52 Sakura service bound for Kagoshima Shuo. Not sure why you'd have a car on display inside a high-speed train station, but you do you, Japan. What I thought was much cooler was this N500 series decoration and the dedicated charging port facility. And I always really appreciate Japan offering free public restrooms in most stations. But especially this one was cool, having a screen showing you which toilets were occupied or not. And as our train will be arriving fairly soon, let's head up to the platforms. And here we are at platform 11, with our train being the next to depart from here. And even on the platform you'll find a few shops and vending machines for any very last minute shopping. And here comes our N700 series Shinkansen train inbound from Osaka. Ours in particular is one of the 8-car variants. Built by various Japanese companies, they run at speeds up to 300 km per hour. So let's get on board before our train departs. I am today traveling in the green car, which is equivalent of first class. But as this wasn't close to the front of the train, I bought into a regular non-reserved car. Our train starts rolling out of Hiroshima right on time. We depart next to one of the N700 variants with 16 carriages that has terminated here after operating a Nozomi service from Tokyo. Right, now that we have departed, let's go and find our seat in the green car. It can be identified by this symbol. I've reserved seat 13A for today's journey. And with our journey now well underway, accelerating out of Hiroshima, I think it's time for a look at the route map for today's journey. Sakura 553 starts up in Osaka and makes limited stops as far as Hiroshima, where we pick up the train. From here it continues making 2 intermediate stops before our arrival into Hakata. Here I'll end my journey. This is a distance of 248 kilometers covered in an hour and 5 minutes, giving the train an average speed of 228 kilometers per hour. Afterwards, the train continues all the way to Kagoshima Shuro. One unfortunate thing about the Shinkansen lines is that due to Japan's geography, noise barriers and lots of tunnels are common, restricting your view out of the window. The first stop after Hiroshima is Tokuyama. Situated up on a viaduct without sound barriers, actually offers some decent views of the city. And if you're into big industrial complexes, you want to keep your eyes peeled out the window here. Anyway, now we're back up to speed, let's go check out the rest of the train. On board you'll find a small vending machine selling drinks. The cheapest kind of accommodation offered on board is the non-reserved car, which comes in a 2+3 layout. Shinkansen trains are quite wide, so it's not too narrow, but I wouldn't want to be stuck in a middle seat on board one of these. Out in the vestibule is where you'll find the toilets, which are a bit different with the sink being outside of the actual toilet. But on the inside you will find a fully functioning toilet that was spotlessly clean, as you'd expect here in Japan. Also on board most Shinkansen trains you'll find a urinal. Continuing down we get to the reserved seating car, which is also really comfortable, featuring big seats in a 2+2 layout. The best offering on board is the green car or first class, which features these seats, also in a 2+2 layout. These trains also used to feature public payphones and dedicated smoking rooms, both of which are no longer a thing. Back at my seat, we're shortly coming up on our second intermediate stop, which is Sakura, our first stop on the island of Kyushu. Here we also see some of the maintenance equipment used on the Shinkansen line, ensuring it's in top quality all the time. Then we pull into the station, and as you might be able to tell, this is an important interchange point with the regular narrow gauge railways that cover most of Japan. And as we start accelerating again, proceeding towards my destination Hakata, we still have one thing left to do. And that is of course to have a look at the seats we've been traveling in so far. First of all, these seats offer a lot of recline. At the seat itself you will find a tray table, which is really sturdy. You also do get a storage net, as well as a footrest. Every seat also comes with power, and in the armrest is where the reading light button can be found. Over here is the controls for the recline, as well as a smaller tray table that can be deployed like this. There is a comfortable pillow, and these seats have a lot of padding, making them excellent choices for long journeys. And it's a good thing that these trains are pretty solid, because not only is there 179 of these just N700 series, in 2020 the N700 Supreme was launched, the successor of this train, and with at least 60 of those being ordered, the 700 series is gonna be a familiar face for travelers on the Shinkansen lines east of Tokyo for many more years. And that jingle means we are approaching Hakata, where we will end our journey. So let's talk about tickets. Prices are shown on screen, and while they are not that cheap, you have to remember that this is a comfortable journey on a high-speed train that runs regularly and reliably throughout the day, most days of the year. So I'll let you be the judge if it's worth it. And here we are with a bang-on-time arrival in Hakata. Thank you so much for joining me on this trip. If you want to see more videos like this, make sure you are subscribed to the channel, as I try to post a new one every Sunday. You can also follow me over on Twitter at IntercitySimon. I usually post live from my travels over there, so it's a great place to get a sneak peek at what videos might be coming to the channel in the future. Thanks for watching.